Hello, Kingston. Welcome back. Today I have a battle of Elau to show you. It is a 4v4, and it is the cores, as you can see, of Murat, Bernadotte, Lons, and where's the other one? Davout. And they are going to be taking on the 4th Coalition Russians and Prussians. And I don't know, maybe there's an Austria mixed in here. I cannot tell yet. Nope. But as you can see already, the Russians have a very strong front as they are advancing to Elau. Now, historically in this battlefield, the Russians had a huge artillery advantage, which actually proved very useful for them. In this battle, you will see if that does prove. You do see that you have Murat hiding behind these trees here. A lot of cuirassiers just waiting to run all over the Russians if they get too close. We have some dragoons moving up here. Now, we do have some Kazakis advancing very quickly here, actually being very aggressive, perhaps trying to find a gap in the French chink of armor. With the infantry moving up, these guys cannot form a square, so they are in danger of being totally mobbed by all these cuirassiers. Well, honestly, this would be bad news to see coming towards you. I mean, there's so many of them. But they are kind of stuck here, so if Russia can move quickly, maybe they can actually do something about it. We do have Prussia rushing up a 6-pounder as well, and we do have another Russian. So it looks like I think it's 3 Russian, or 2 Russian, 2 Prussian. And the Prussians are reinforcing, the Russians are in the front here. We do have Kazakis maybe trying to get rid of the Dragoons, 3 of them, for Murat. And we do appear to have also some more general movement over here. Some skirmishers and some light infantry that are kind of moving up that side. Looks like Russia's actually getting very aggressive over here, actually rushing forward some of these Kazakis and causing Lons to fall back these hussars. So being very aggressive already. I do love it. I do love the cav play. Artillery still raining down fire upon these chasseurs cheval. Both sides going to, well, no, I think Russia may be trying to get really aggressive here and kind of scare the French. Obviously, they rushed right at them and France fell back, so we will keep an eye on that side. Now, we do for the armies, the actual Lons is moving their infantry into Elau itself. Bernadotte and Davout are moving up to back up Murat, who currently is holding this hill as well as holding the tree line here. We do have a building that has fallen into French hands. And we do have some artillery over here as well. So 6-pounder, another 8-pounder. Interested to see where they're going to put those. So far, though, it looks like Murat has done a good job of screening the army, seeing what the Prussians and Russians have. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, they may actually get the charge off. Oh, they didn't get a shoot in time, but unless it's a general, Russians are gonna lose their horse artillery here. Well worth it, as France only lost their chasseurs cheval. So, very worth it. We do have a fight over here where some Kazakis got broken by the, looks like the French didn't lose a single man, but they did come back. No, maybe not. So this fight, obviously, as you can see, is going to be centered with the Russian line kind of following this tree line here. A little further back here, France is going to be pushing up to this graveyard area, having Murat on the flank here. And these actually are very crucial beginning stages of a battle, is getting your men in position, choosing where Lons is going to go. Is Lons going to back up the side? Is he going to try to flank? Is Davout going to push up the right flank? Are they going to back up Lons? Are they going to just try to spearhead through one area, or are they going to go through several? You know, are they going to let France or Russia and Prussia flank them? Obviously, they're going to have to deal with that. And what Prussia and Russia want is a standing line battle. So they took, yeah, another LOC, so they have definitely taken this city. These line infantry are getting shot by howitzers and by skirmishers here. No losses yet. There's some voltigeurs over here skirmishing with the Russian skirms. And now comes the lull in the battle now. Another building captured. So they have definitely garrisoned every building possible as Bernadotte is going to start pushing up. Lons just kind of sitting in the back, it looks like right now. Maybe trying to decide where they're going to push. If they're going to be defensive. We've seen this map before, and it's been very defensive for the French coalition having to make most of the attacks. Another LOC. French are just garrisoning everything. This is a good position for their combat gen, as he will be less likely to be killed, and he can boost morale around the area. The French definitely have garrisoned this town. They're using the buildings to protect against artillery. Russia, as you can see, is standing here. Pretty soon, these guys, I'm predicting, are going to start getting shot by artillery as they're sitting here. They're just sitting ducks. Now, I do like the push that the Russians are making with Prussia here. A huge push, two factions. I suspect Davout's going to have to shift over with Murat maybe and take out, help defend this left flank. As we have some cuirassiers actually rushing forward, so Murat's going to probably start shifting over all of their heavy cav. So we have four cuirassiers. So Russia is outmatched in the extreme. And hopefully Russia has some artillery they're going to push up here, because France is going to easily be able to throw their weight around this battlefield. I'm hopeful. It's very rare to see these corps of Russia and Prussia win. Usually France always wins. Just because of Murat. Murat is the huge wild card that the French have. And it probably once again will throw its weight around. Now, what can Russia do? Squarables with their infantry. Artillery. If you have a king of artillery, just shooting them wherever they go, you can maybe hold. Now, it's going to be tough, because if the infantry advance on you and Murat's following the French infantry advancing, there's nothing you can do. Now, we do have some French, the 21E line infantry going up against some light infantry for Russia, who just volleyed and started falling back. And we do have some hussars who are going to charge the skirms and light infantry. And we do have some Ulani who are going to charge in as well, but those skirms are going to break. So oh no, they're going to try to get themselves out of there. And this cav is going to get shot to pieces by the French line infantry who are advancing. Looks like Lens is going to be very aggressive on this left flank here, as Russia is all alone. Prussia probably still pretty far back here. I do hear them though. They're right here. So they are very close. So Russia just has to hold on a little bit longer, as Lens and Bernadotte are probably going to... Well, Bernadotte's not getting aggressive here because probably he knows that they don't have to push. They have an LOC advantage, and look at this. Once again, I've seen this happen so many times. The artillery just sitting up on this hill. It is a beautiful position. I'm surprised they haven't unlimbered yet and started firing on the Russian guns, or the Russian infantry, or even cav. This should do very well. They have both skewers on both sides, some line infantry, and then some cav to support it. This is going to be impregnable. Maybe. I do hear some cav. Oh, these skirmishers are going to get charged by some hussars, and they're going to try to get out of there, as this building is going to make it a little more difficult here. But these skirms are probably going to get shot to pieces, or cut to pieces, technically, as the French continue to advance here. And Russia may be trying to get a volley off here against the cav. So we do have Prussia showing their face here. We have some pioneers, some grenadiers. So Lons need to be careful because Prussia could cave on the flank. Now over here, this would be the concern. So far, it is just Murat against a whole Prussian army and a whole Russian army. With a lot of cav, actually. We have some cuirassiers, dragoons, more cuirassiers. So, Murat could be outplayed if he commits too much and gets outflanked by the lights. But I think he can do it. I think he can hold. I have total confidence. He can hold. I do hear it. Yeah. Some dragoons maybe getting charged by some cuirassiers. Perhaps. Russia maybe getting a little too aggressive here. They're going to get countercharged by the cuirassiers of France now. Unless that was their plan. They could be trying to draw the French into a trap here because the infantry is getting very close here. You see now they're actually flanking charge. I think they're pulling their units through here, and you can see they're actually starting to shoot. Getting a couple friendly fire units, and they did sacrifice their Kazakis. Possibly more Kazakis here, but they do have infantry and more cav set up. This is where the huge cav play is going to be happening. So infantry and cav moving up, that's how you have to play Murat. Now they did lose some cav here, but cheaper cav. Prussia is forming up in a huge line here. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do because all the French infantry is over here. I mean, Davout has the right flank. And actually, Davout is also pushing forward here as Russia is standing their ground and just pouring in the hot fire on these units as they are getting in position. They're also issuing out, Bernadotte is also going to issue out on the flank and start pushing on this Russian flank here. So Russia is going to definitely be outnumbered here. Now Prussia is going to be pushing up here. I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing. Still no cav fighting over here. But, ooh, howitzers are going to start showering down artillery. Let's see, we have some, yeah, howitzers. Are there more artillery over here? Yeah, there's a 12-pound here, so France is going to be at a slight disadvantage here. One, they were attacking, and two, artillery is just going to just blast away at them. Now, these skirmishers are going to get charged here. And Russia may lose their cav, but they may kill the skirms. Or maybe not. The skirms are a deadly part of this line fight, and they're going to get those skirmishers out of there. Managing to get them out of there, and now Russia is stuck in that line fight. Prussia is going to start pushing up. Honestly, I think Prussia is going to try and push on Lons. Maybe try to get Lons to fall back and then turn the flank. They do have a town to help defend that flank, and Russia does have a huge disadvantage right here, as Russia has, or France has a lot of infantry that can pour in on that flank here. But we do have a lot of flanks now. More flanking going in, as now some grenadiers are showing their face against this square. Davout's gonna have to have cav supporting that because, wow, these infantry are shaken. The howitzers are being demoralizing. Now they are gonna probably start winning this fight here. But with these infantry, these grenadiers pushing up on the flank, Davout's gonna have to focus them down with artillery, and you can see Davout's pushing up more infantry to protect that flank that is now exposed. Oh my goodness, the howitzers are blasting away at this hill. And you can see the losses actually that France is taking are slightly serious here. But Russia is starting to have some wavering. They don't have any lines in the back to bolster their morale. Now Prussia is advancing as Lons is going to start falling back. So hopefully Prussia maybe can start turning this flank because they need a turnaround right now. Davout is going to start pushing up here as he's probably worried about his flank being massively exposed. Now the artillery up on this hill is going to really start focusing down this Russian grenadier unit. I'm surprised they didn't try forcing them into a square and then charging them with the grenadiers. They are definitely turning that flank, but I think Russia's going to break first. Of course, Prussia is pushing forward with some grenadiers of their own, using the grenadiers in a very beautiful way. We even have some cuirassiers going for some line infantry here, probably trying to just stop these guys from falling back. And a bayonet charge as well, going for the skirmishers. So now Davout's going to have to make, Bernadotte and Davout are going to have to make some choices here. You can see they are definitely stopping France from falling back. In fact, they did a beautiful turn, slant, and caught some infantry and cav here. So, Cuirassiers of Prussia doing an excellent job there. Now, you can see these Prussian grenadiers are just turning the flank of Bernadotte. Going in, beautiful use of their grenadiers.
Our general is under attack.
But you can see that France is starting to break Russia in the center here. Russia cannot hold its own in this line fight right now. They need to fall back right now. They need a general up here, to be honest, to inspire this line. These guys are just going to break soon. It's about to be a mass rout, and the center for Russia will break. And Davout and Bernadotte will be able to punch forward. Over here, it's really not a whole lot of anything happening. In fact, that's why Murat is shifting over here, as the main fight seems to be happening maybe on this side by Eylau. Russia doesn't have anything left in the center, so they're going to depend on their Prussian allies to hold the flank. You see, they are now in a line fight here. And they are pushing up with a lot of infantry, musketeers. In fact, we do have some cav rushing over, probably going for the artillery here. But they are being met by the hussars of France. We do also have some grenadiers charging in here, so at the same time, Bernadotte and Davout are pushing up on their advantage. They kind of punched a huge gaping hole in the Russian line. So Russia's and Prussia are going to have to reform. Prussia is going around for the flank, so that could prove very, very helpful in the long run. Still some grenadiers from Prussia in the village. And you can see they charge this line. They're going to break this line. And France is actually looking a little concerning on this side. Prussia really doing a lot of work breaking them. In fact, Lanz is going to start falling back here. They're bayonet charging this square as well. And Lanz, he's going to fall back the rest of his army. And I think they're going to try to fall back to the hills. They have pushed out over here where Russia broke, but they don't have to overcommit here. They should fall back a little bit. You can see Russia's falling back, consolidating. At the same time, Prussia is slowly but surely creeping around the flank, and Murat is the only one standing between them and death. These poor dragoons are definitely going to be the focus of artillery fire, just standing there staring down Prussian 6-pounders. And this is kind of, honestly, Murat is kind of being forced to stay over here because of all the heavy cav of Russia and Prussia. Unless they've somehow managed, Russia has snuck down maybe their cav over to this side and is going to use it in the center here. But you see Prussia still making a huge advance here, pushing out the infantry, bayonet charging the rear of Lanz. Oh man. France needs to, yeah, they're starting to shift over. Bernadotte shifting over some forces to maybe help on this flank as Prussia made a huge breakthrough here. The flank is turning. Now, the French do have some LOCs, which are going to be very difficult for the Prussians to take. Prussia may have to hold off on this until they fix the center, where Davout is going to push forward with all strength, leaving Bernadotte to cover the flank and help out Lanz, perhaps. Hopefully this Prussian army pushes over soon. You see Russia's actually falling back over here, but they're actually holding in this area here, as maybe this is good terrain. They have artillery close by, I'm sure. Yeah, they have artillery. They have hopefully more Prussian guns here, but France is kind of just sitting here while the main fight seems to be, well, it was going to be for this town, but I think Prussia wisely is going to fall back as they have pushed the French back all the way to the village. And they're going to fall back now and not overcommit, because if they overcommit, they will lose, and then the French will... It's basically won or lost. That decision was well placed. Now, we do have Murat sending over some cuirassiers. He has left 2 behind with some dragoons, so... doing the work he can. Now, these cav are getting focused by howitzers. You do see some 4-pounders setting up, moving closer to the fight here. Now, we may have some friendly fire from the French. I think they're going to fall back here wisely. I mean, they don't need to push. They have an LSC advantage. Prussia is coming on your flank. You need to form up and meet them, because Russia is just going to push on you as soon as Prussia collapses on you. This could be death. You got Prussia over here, pushing up here. You have Russia in the center, and then you have a Prussian army just sneaking down. Now, I do hear Cav. Don't know where. But France called a general retreat. That's why probably some of these lights, basically equivalent of hussars for Russia. Maybe that's what it means in Russian. I don't know. But they're going to go for these skirms here, these voltigeurs. And there's nothing that they can do. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe this is pathfinding. Yep, they're going to go... Nope, they're not going to go for it. They have 2 losses here. I would take it and walk away. And yeah, now that France is falling back, Russia's actually going to be pushing here. They just need to make sure to time it perfectly with the Prussian army. Now we do have Cav now charging up here, some dragoons charging in on France. Davout was probably caught multitasking in multiple areas. He's on several different fronts in this fight, and now cuirassiers and dragoons are going to smash Davout's Cav here. And France, maybe without Cav, may have to have Murat rush over. Now we do have a potential for Murat to maybe commit too much, and then Prussia may swing in on the flank here. You see there's a lot of Cav, the howitzers forcing back Murat's heavies. And France just lost 2 of their Cav units, and the Prussians are going to get themselves out of there. Not only that, but it stopped the French from being able to withdraw, and Prussia is ever closer to being able to swing on this flank. Now, Russia's not really pushing too aggressively at the moment. So actually, France may be able to reform, reorganize, and then defend on both fronts here. As this is going to be a desperate hold. You can see they kind of got themselves into like a half circle. As Prussia's going to be sitting here, they probably shouldn't attack the LSC area. That's probably not a good idea. So we have Lons in the town. Bernadotte getting back to the town, and Davout on the flank here. Prussia is so close, though. See, France is not going to get to here before Prussia does. They're going to be outflanked. Prussia went for the long play, and I would be very excited to see that. Now, Murat could still turn this battle around. Especially once they start getting into standard volleys, the line battle as it goes. But Russia is starting to advance, it looks like. Now, they had some heavy losses here, but they're going to advance. Russia advancing over their dead comrades. Never again. That's what they're saying. I'm just kidding. They probably will break again. This artillery piece is the hell for the Russians to deal with. But if they can hold until Russia starts turning the flank, as you can see already, Russia honestly shouldn't be stopping. This side should keep going. You know, keep going. Yep. Oh, these guys don't form square. You should have the guy that can form square. There we go. They need to keep going. They can collapse. Need your Cav to be defensive and collapse on Davout. Oh, we have some Cav being very aggressive here. I think they want to go for these guns. Davout's gonna have to make some plays here, and I'm surprised Prussia isn't moving forward even more. I mean, they could really catch France in a bind here. The one concerning thing I see is that Prussia does not have any troops behind to bolster the morale so they can stay in this fight for longer. Only thing I don't like to see, especially is since they probably are going to be shooting with Davout for a while, and Davout has good morale. They probably have like at least 2 generals in this area. Yeah, we have Davout right here. Where's Murat? That's the question. We have Bernadotte here. Oh, here we go. The artillery getting charged by some Gusari cap and then some cuirassiers. So France really, really, really determined to hold this side. And that is why they're pushing so aggressively here. We do have Murat circling around, probably trying to commit here. These Ghusaris are actually probably going to go for a flank. Yes, they are. They're going to sneak in here. Now, will these 25E get in time? Oh, no. That is unfortunate. This artillery is still alive. We do have, let's see, 2 Dragoons and 2 Cuirassiers who are going to be going for Prussia. And I would suspect that they are about to charge. I suspect that Prussia is about to lose. Oh no, we have some Chasseurs Cheval chasing down these Cuirassiers, trying to make them break. At the same time, those guys, we cannot miss on some of the hottest action here, as Cuirassier is now going to go against Cuirassier. And Dragoon's probably taking on more. Prussia is going to look pretty bad in this fight. They are outflanked.
Our men are running.
Murat is going to easily turn this flank, and I think this is going to be the turning point in the fight. Unfortunately, there's nothing Prussia can really do in this situation. You have Murat with 4 heavy cav here. Now, they are pushing over here, being very aggressive. They do have infantry as well, trying to back up this fight. Now, they're probably going to try their best to destroy as many of the heavies of Murat as possible, but Murat has so much. It's like the right of the road here. They're going to get some infantry up here, and they're going to start firing into Murat's heavies. Over here, you can see Prussia is not doing well in this fight here. They need to column or double stack lines. Some of these guys aren't even firing yet. Now you can see, here comes the Cuirassiers, going to punch the back lines of Prussia, and once again, Murat is proving to be the decisive factor in these corps. I honestly don't think it's very difficult to beat this corps. The Davout, Bernadotte, Lons, Murat. If Murat's in it, you're gonna break. Like, look, his 1 cav unit's just gonna roll over these units. Yeah, I was hoping they would lose. Honestly, I've never seen them lose with Murat on their side. So now France is going to start pushing out, as Prussia is just going to crumble here. And unfortunately, this battle is probably going to be a loss now for the coalition. France just held. As actually, Russia's getting very close, though. Very aggressive here. And actually, they're charging up this hill. Maybe a little too late. As Prussia had an excellent... Oh, man, this beta charge is pretty nasty.
Our men are running.
They broke the artillery a little too late. Murat is still very much alive. And still, look at this one unit has broken so many Prussians. And they are just going through this square even. My goodness. They're inside the square already.
Our men are running, sir.
And Russia made a desperate charge here and actually almost worked. Prussia is going to start pushing up over here. There's some artillery sitting right here, but they're going to start pushing up. And I think at this point they've realized their allies are either winning or losing, and they just need to make a push. And it's losing, definitely. Prussia's almost gone. We got some infantry now going in. This square hasn't been able to hold back the cuirassiers at all, who are exhausted but in good spirits. We do have some Gusari bravely going against some cuirassiers. That seems like it was like instant death for like half of them. Yikes. I do like how they are not giving up yet. They are still holding, they're still trying their best, even though things are falling apart. And Prussia basically is gone. They're still trying their best to hold against a crazy good faction. And now comes down to, I think the town fight's the next big thing that's happening here, yeah. And Prussia is charging in here, going against the line infantry. Prussia's actually making some good headway, but it's not going to matter because pretty soon this French flank is going to roll over to them. So I think they're trying to do as much damage as possible, and the timer's not even close to try to hold an LOC. Prussia is gone, and Murat is still going in. Now we do have some cuirassiers of Russia 2v1ing them and attacking the flank. They may actually break these cuirassiers. We'll see how well they hold. Seem to be doing beautifully well, actually. They're just forming up. They're like, eh, who cares? Just some Russians. No big deal. They are going to break, possibly, though. They've been attacked in the back. Yeah, I'm surprised they're holding so long. Where is the rest of Murat? There they are. So some cuirassiers over there. So 2 of them. Exhausted and active. So Russia could still somehow do this. I don't think it's possible at the moment. You see 3 Russians against 1 heavy is what breaks them. But they are finally cleaning up the side, unfortunately too late. As there's one more cuirassier that Russia has to try to break before they can start pushing on this side again. Prussia actually has a decent push going here. Now they have some pioneers against some infantry. They have still some heavies. They have some light infantry over here, so they are kind of making a push into this town. Looks like they're going against some grenadiers, though. Yeah, grenadiers. And Russia's actually helping back them up, but they have an LOC as well. So, and they have hussars charging Frederick, the general of Prussia, so not too hot. And you can see over here that France has lost their other cuirassier. But France is now going to be pushing out here as Russia maybe is going to try to depend on Prussian guns. Artillery maybe to help them win on this side. We do have a potential another cav fight here. But I think France is going to easily win this one as well. And then we do have some infantry going into the house. Some grenadiers here. They're taking on Joseph Sansi, a combat gen. So that could cause a morale debuff. perhaps. Now we do also have, unfortunately, some Chasseurs Cheval who are going to go for the howitzers. And this may be the last big defensive bonus of the Russian army, who's now going to be in... Oh, wow, they broke. Wow. The Russian artillery coming in clutch here. We have actually some more artillery sitting here. So the one bonus I see is Russia still has some cav here. They have some artillery set up here. They can hold with their artillery. They can still turn Davout around. Now in the center, Russia is just unable to really hold their ground against Davout's line infantry. You can see their morale is just too shaky. So they're going to maybe just try to bide their time. Over here, they are trying their best. Prussia has been trying their best to hold. They are still in this house fighting.
The entire unit is dead, sir.
They are trying to fight now. They're starting to lose as France is just becoming too numerous for them. And Russia is starting to break in the center. They do have artillery set up, but I don't think it's going to be more than a... This is be a good battle, like a retreating battle. Like, they could retreat from here, they could fall back, and they could do a lot of damage here. Oh, wow. Prussia has some grenadiers who came back. And is actually breaking some of Bernadotte's infantry. And to watch out for those rogue Russians that have come back. And this fight was definitely, I like that it was not a clean wipe. Now, one army did get wiped off the face of the earth by Murat, but other than that, they did a good job. This was not a clean, easy win for France. Murat has done some some very, very good wins here. They've been able to just roll over Prussia. I mean, that was a hands-down textbook French versus Prussian fight. Just cave in the center with French heavies. And as you can see, that worked very well against Prussia here. These Grenadiers are going to get now charged by some cuirassiers. Are they going to form square? No, they're just going to break. These artillery hopefully are going to start evening the odds a little bit here. These howitzers as well. But Prussia's basically gone on this side, so it's going to be... Basically, if I just decide, I'm just going to start fast-forwarding a little bit here, because it's just the little fight with Russia here. Now that you see a back charge with some
Our men are
cav
running,
actually broke these volunteers. And ooh, Russia decided to commit with a bayonet charge. I love it. Going in hot. Going in all or nothing. Davout's gonna have to try to make his stand. There's a general right here. No, just some Gusari. Doing a flanking charge on the Grenadiers as they're having a easy... they're definitely winning against these musketeers. More cav now rushing in, some cuirassiers. I think they're trying to break a bunch of Davout's infantry, and they're going to charge in the back of these Grenadiers. You see they are actually causing some wavering by the Davout, but I think they're going to have to fall back here. Good job on their part, though. Man, they did so well, considering everything. I mean, they did a good job. More cav now charging in. Ooh, I need to fast forward again. Cuirassiers now broke. And France, I would say, has been victorious. There's a small defensive place that Russia seems to be holding by their artillery. But I think that's about it. Besides that, I would love to see the comps, or not the comps, well, I'd love to see the comps too, but I'd love to see the kills and losses, because they have to be actually not bad. We do have a last stand by
We
the
have killed
Russians.
their general, sir. Now they must break.
But Murat looks like he's just going to roll in here. And try to go for the throat. Yeah, go for the artillery. And Russia has so many artillery. They did well with the artillery. I will give them that. They did very well with their artillery. But, dang, Bagratian's taking on some hussars. It looks like actually Murat's is trying to go for the artillery here at this point, just making it an easy win and not taking a ton of losses here. You see they're just kind of scooping in here. And this battle should be basically over now that Murat is in the back lines of Russia. There's a couple Prussian infantry moving up here.
This building
Last
has
stands are
fallen to the
always
enemy.
epic. Which building? Well, that'll be the reason that'll take so long. Yeah, Russia has a couple units here that probably will break pretty quickly here. Russia has a couple right here, some grenadiers. I do like how the coalition used their grenadiers in this fight. So unless something significant is happening, just looks like a Russian Prussian retreat here. We do have our
Our
artillery
men are
possibly
running, sir.
firing. Now they're going to get charged. This should be the final stage of this fight, which is the final stand, which are awesome. I love final stands, but they're gonna die. So I'll just skip to the end once. Yeah, I'm gonna skip to the end here.
Unit is dead, sir.
All right, guys. So final fight is gonna be between Murat and Frederick. General v. General here. Ooh. Who's gonna win? Dang, these horses, I don't know if the horses give you advantage, but they're chopping up the Prussians. Alright, that should be the battle. That should be it. Please. There we go. So this one was set in by, I believe, Dumb's newbie. So thank you for that. It was a good game. Good game. Like I said before, these corps always do well against the Russian Prussian corps. I would love to see a replay where the French lose because I've never seen it. But that's about it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Hope you enjoyed. More to come in the future, so just stick around, and I will catch you all in another video.